The Toyota Tacoma is doomed unless Toyota is paying attention. Well, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to RobMotive. And that's right, the Toyota Tacoma, the next generation, the fourth generation of the Toyota Tacoma is doomed, I'm afraid, unless Toyota is paying attention. Now, what am I talking about? Well, first of all, we just had the new Tundra come out, and I gotta say, the reception, I think, overall to that new truck is a negative. It seems most people don't like it. Now, that concerns me because I'm looking towards the new redesigned Toyota Tacoma, and I hope this isn't true, but I think it's doomed. Why? Well, there are really 6 reasons for me. 1, the 4-cylinder turbo. You know, the Toyota Tacoma, as I've mentioned before, is not the most powerful beast in the world anyway, right? But imagine if they stick a 4-cylinder turbo in it. You know, it might be great off the line, which is cool, that's what I like, but what happens after those turbos, or turbo, we don't know, spool out and they're gone? A 4-cylinder engine in the Toyota Tacoma? No way. Now, I know we have 4 cylinders in it right now, but there's a reason I don't own a 4-cylinder Toyota Tacoma, because for me, it's just not powerful enough. And I think it's doomed when it comes to power. I think Toyota is going to try to do everything they can to meet government mandates and just dumb down the Toyota Tacoma when it comes to engine power. Number 2, chrome. Chrome. You know what they did to the new Tundra, right? Unless you go with the all blacked out kind of package or an all blacked out truck, you've got lots of chrome. You've got the chrome mustache. You've got the 2 chrome mirrors on that back bumper, which is hideous. I couldn't believe it. It's one of the things that I looked at right away when I went to drive the new Tundra, were those chrome panels on the rear bumper. It's like having dual mirrors back there. I was very disappointed in that. And then, of course, when I saw the front with the chrome mustache, I could not believe it. And I didn't see any kind of a resolution, any kind of a fix for that. Again, depending on what trim level you actually go with. And that brings me to number 3, no mods for probably a couple of years. Now, that may not be important to a lot of people out there, because I know there's a lot of people who don't do mods and things to their truck. They buy them straight out of the box and they never change until they trade them in and go on to something else. For me, that's not the case. I, of course, love doing mods and things on the truck, and that would be a big negative for me. I want to be able to customize the truck and make it how I want it to be. It's not going to be that way once the new redesigned Toyota Tacoma comes out, because there simply won't be very many things available for it. And that's because it takes time. It takes time for the aftermarketers to put their hands on them and actually design the parts. You know, I saw recently one of the aftermarketers had the new Tundra, and they were doing all this 3D scanning of everything so that they could come up with parts for the truck. Now, I think that's fantastic that they're doing that at all, but that means there's research and development, and they have to find suppliers, produce the parts, blah, blah, blah. I don't want to wait for all that, especially if it's on a truck that isn't what I want it to be to begin with. For me, to be able to put the mods aside for a little while, the truck has to wow me from the start. And that's something the new Tundra didn't do, and I hope it's not something the new Tacoma doesn't do. What a letdown that would be. Number 4, we have to move into the interior a little bit. I actually like the interior of the Tacoma. I think it's pretty slick. Now, one of the things that I didn't like about the Tundra, which I know is coming to the Tacoma, is that radio screen, the treatment of it, the aesthetics of it. Toyota seems to be going this way across the board in all their models. And what I'm talking about is that screen that just kind of sits up above the dash. It looks like they took some sort of a computer screen, maybe a big iPad or something, and they just stuck it in there. It doesn't fit well. It doesn't look good. And for me, as strange as it is, it's almost an obstruction because it's something jutting up above the dash, something that doesn't have to be that way. You know, there are plenty of other examples out there, other models, where the screen is integrated into the dash area, into the center cluster area. I recently bought a new Ram. It's got a good 8.4-inch screen in it, and it doesn't jut up above the dash. I think Toyota is taking a lot of shortcuts when it comes to these things. I don't think they're really spending the development time or the research time that they need to do to be able to integrate these things. You know, it's much easier just to come up with a bigger screen and slap it in there than redo the whole dash so that it fits in there seamlessly. I hope Toyota doesn't go the route of the Tundra, but I think they're probably going to. Number 5, weird body lines. You know, when I first saw the Tundra, before I actually saw it in person, and I will admit, in person it's a bit better. But in pictures, it looked very strange. It looked squatted, things didn't seem to fit right together. It just seemed like they cobbled it. You know, they just stuck different things together and called it a new truck. I think that's probably what they're gonna do with the new Tacoma. You know, when they come out with the redesign, they're gonna have to change everything. I mean, if they're gonna go to the trouble of calling it a world-beating redesign, which I'm sure we're gonna have that same kind of verbiage when it comes to the new Tacoma, probably even worse, they have to redesign everything. And that's gonna be tough because the Tacoma's gorgeous the way it is. It doesn't really need much. So I'm not sure that anything that they do to it could be an improvement. When it's almost perfect the way that it is, how can you make it better? Now, there is one caveat to that. Recently, a month or two ago, they put out a picture of their new electric Tacoma. It's a rendering, or not really a rendering, it's just a test mule, if you will. That truck looked pretty good. So I think if they go that route, and my fear is that they're saving that for the electric truck. In other words, they want it to have its own distinctive look, so they're not going to take a lot of cues from that on the regular or a hybrid Tacoma. We'll see. Hopefully they go that route. And number 6, no more manuals. And I know the manual transmission driving population is shrinking. Only about 4 or 5% now of the total sales of Tacomas are in manual transmission form. But still, it's nice to have that out there. It would be really nice if they updated it. I don't think that's going to happen. I think the manual transmission is going to go away. I think when the 4th generation Tacoma comes out, it will be gone. It's the way that all the manufacturers are going. There are only a handful left. The only 2 that I can think of off the top of my head are the Tacoma and the Jeep Gladiator and Wrangler. That's it. Everything else has gone to automatic, and I think that's the way the new Tundra, or Tacoma rather, is going to go as well. Anyway, I really do think the Toyota Tacoma is doomed. I think they're going to pull a lot from the new Tundra, and they're going to ruin it. I hope I'm wrong, because I want the next redesigned Toyota Tacoma, but it's got to meet at least a few basic things to make me happy. Anyway, leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Are they going to Tundrafy the new redesigned Tacoma? And if they do, is that something that you would buy? I'd be curious to know. Also, real quick, I do have 2 additional channels. RobMotive FST, all about full-size trucks. And RobMotive JT, all about the 2020 Jeep Gladiator. Check them out, and if you're interested, please consider subscribing. Don't forget to click that notification bell so that you don't miss out on any upcoming videos. And do me a favor, smash that subscribe button on the way out. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there. Bye.